Welcome to the Ethical Affiliate, the podcast that's all about living life on your own terms through the exciting world of ethical affiliate marketing. I'm your host, Ida.
And I'm Tim.
And in each episode, we'll be exploring the possibilities, strategies, and mindset shifts that can empower you to build a business that aligns with your values and allows you to design the life you've always dreamed of.
Join us as we share our journey and hear from industry experts and successful affiliate marketers who have embraced this new approach to business. Discover the strategies they use to navigate the ever-evolving digital landscape, build sustainable income streams, and most importantly, live life on their own terms.
So buckle up and get ready for a journey into the world of ethical affiliate marketing. This is the Ethical Affiliate, where we believe that living life on your own terms is not just a dream, it's a reality waiting to be created. Thanks for joining us, and let's dive in. Happy days. Welcome everybody to T, the Ethical Affiliate, where we discuss all things ethical and affiliate marketing. I'm Ida.
And I'm Tim.
With my good old co-host Tim, and this is episode 11, I believe.
It is. What's that?
I can't believe that. That's so good.
We're in the second tens.
I know, it's great. It's great. I'm loving every second of this. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. How's your week been, Tim?
It's been pretty good.
Yep.
Been a bit quiet in the other business I'm doing at the moment, although a few calls are coming in. So I've been in and out of the dog grooming business. So that's going along okay. It's picking up a little bit.
Good stuff.
And I've still been working on the affiliate marketing business and found some new tools and software to help me with that. So
can you hear that?
Yes. It's
okay. So just bear with me one moment because I'm not quite sure how to mute that.
Right. Is that?
Oh, stop. How can I? Message sounds off. There we go. Beautiful.
There you go. That's better.
Okay.
As it happens.
Until I turn it back on. Thank you. This is real life, guys. So,
So how's your week been?
Look, my week's been good. My week's been really good, actually. Been helping my clients, been doing well with my affiliate business. Yeah. Feeling really good within myself, which I attribute to the course I did a couple of weeks ago with Luke.
Yep.
Luke Hawkins. If anyone out there, honestly, if you are struggling, you need to do this course. It's really amazing. He shifts so much internal stuff. His coaching is really instrumental if you have any emotional blocks or any limited thinking or anything like that. So that's been working really well in my favor. I find that I'm just able to carry myself through things much, much better than I ever have. So really wrapped about that. Yeah, it is. It's really good. Excited about future plans.
Yeah.
I do have an injury flare up, and I've had to take pain relief. So if I go a little bit loopy during this episode, fear not. It's just me and my pain relief.
It just might keep you to the next half hour.
Yeah, possibly. But I promise to make it entertaining anyway.
Great. Fantastic.
It's been a good week. It's been a good week. Right. Yeah.
Just don't fall off your chair.
I promise I will not fall off my chair. I may float, but I won't fall.
Oh, the background's appropriate for that.
Yes, it is.
For people listening, is the Aurora Borealis. So, yes.
I would love to go and see that live, actually.
Yes. It is supposed to be spectacular, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I've heard people go there and they don't see it, so it's a bit.
Well, you've got to go at the right time of year, don't you?
Yes, of course. But it's a whale watching episode where you might just go there and not see the whales.
But I did not know that. Did you know that there's one in Tasmania, like down south?
Aurora Borealis? Aurora? Or whales?
No, the lights.
Yes, I did know that.
Those fancy schmancy lights, but it's not as well known.
No, No, I don't think it's quite as spectacular as the one behind you, but nevertheless,
I wonder
a lot
what
easier to
life
go
would
and
be
see.
like on the South. Is the South Pole even like, are there any research stations on the
Yep.
South Pole?
Yeah, yeah, still there.
Because we hear about the North Pole, but
Yep.
there are no tours. Are there any tours into the South
No,
Pole?
it's a protected land, basically, I believe.
I wonder why.
Yeah. You can go and see, on a ship, but you can't I don't think you can get on land or ice, as it turns out.
I would absolutely love to go to both the poles.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
that would be incredible.
Yeah. It'd
I
shift
think
you
it would be
you see into the
absolutely
world, wouldn't it?
amazing.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Put that on the visual board,
Oh,
vision
yes.
board. So what are we talking about this week, Ida?
What a vision. We are talking about systems and setting up. Oh no, that was last week. No,
Yeah.
setting up your websites and, getting all of that sort of gear happening,
Right.
which,
Excellent.
yeah, which is super important.
Yep.
Yeah, so setting up your systems, that's right. Because last week we talked about tools, and this week we're talking about
Yeah. Yeah.
systems that we use.
Yeah. It's more about I suppose it's more about strategy, about what you're going to do with website or Facebook business page or personal page, and whether you're on
Yeah,
Instagram and who you
yeah.
are, and
Use social media, LinkedIn, all of that stuff.
yeah, all that YouTube.
Even
It's
Pinterest,
more of a
even
strategy type of
Pinterest.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So, mm, that's what we're talking
And
about.
it's a difficult decision for people who haven't done anything like this before.
Mm,
So I'm wondering what I know I've got thoughts about it, what your thoughts are on, say, if you had nothing to do with social media other than just you were on Facebook, and plenty of
mm,
people aren't still.
mm.
What, having been in the business for a little while, what would your suggestions be people do?
If they're not on Facebook,
Let's say they've got a very weak public profile because they thought they should be on Facebook. That's all they have.
I'd probably work on raising my profile,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
through Facebook and Instagram. I think it's fast becoming a way of running a business
Mhm.
too, running an online business. And I would be Googling the ever living bejesus out of professional sites to advertise my things on. Yeah, I'd be looking at whatever I could get my hands on to get as much coverage as possible. Yep.
Sure. Okay. So you've got a business page and a personal
I
page.
see what you mean. Yeah, 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 sorry. Yeah, look, with Facebook, definitely business page is really important.
Mm.
Same with Instagram. Although I don't really have a lot to do with Instagram. I'm just focusing on Facebook at the moment. But yeah, look, it is important to have a business page on Facebook because mixing the personal can get a bit tricky sometimes. So, and because, with your business page, I think it's a lot. I think it gives a bit more credibility because you're showing up more professional.
Yep.
And you're less likely, although this is not entirely true, depending on your likes campaign, you're less likely to attract freaks. Whereas when you put your personal page on a public setting, it gets you get basically inundated with just people
People you don't want to be inundated with.
that you don't want to hear from. Yeah, 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 and really inappropriate stuff. So it's a bit, yeah. So I would definitely be getting a business page for sure. I think that's a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Business page and maybe a group.
Yeah.
Um, if but I also look above all of that, I think a website's essential because we can't just rely on our socials to help run our business. We need to be able to have a professional website for people to go to
Yeah,
access.
I must admit, I don't, I always check for a person's website. So it's
Mm.
always, because I think they have to, they put in a lot more effort into their business if they've got a website, because it's very easy just to open up a business page on Facebook and off you go. But it's to me, if they
Mm.
haven't got a website, it's kind of like, well, is this really a business? And I guess that's changing.
Yeah.
But the advantage of a website, well, there's so many advantages to a website. It's not funny. You can say what you want.
You
Um,
can. You're not bound by anything.
you're not bound by anything at all, really. That's one thing still going for the freedom of the internet. You can have your own website and do whatever you like on it,
Yep.
obviously within reason. But you can also obviously make it look and feel exactly how you want it to. So you're not restricted by any sort of a Facebook page,
Mm,
and you've got, most importantly, you've got your own piece of real estate. And
absolutely.
whatever we think of Facebook and all these other social media giants, history has shown they come and go. It may
Mm,
have settled down now, but there's so many, none of which I can think of right now, but so many music sites that used to be around and they've disappeared. And so, you can invest a lot of time and effort into marketing on a platform and only to find it's changed. Well, they've changed so much, but it may actually disappear or be bought by somebody else. And then they run it into the ground.
that's right. Then they run it into the ground.
Not
Yeah.
likely. It's not likely. I don't think it anymore, but we could be surprised.
Mm,
And I think the other thing with, because Facebook have changed recently, we've now got a professional mode for your personal page.
correct.
And I kind of think that's a little bit of a, because Facebook tends to copy from a lot of other companies. They've had a bit of a tilt at LinkedIn. So in other words, you could now have you were, say, an accountant or a sales and marketing director or something. You can actually have a professional page and
Mm,
talk about your business more or your career more than you could on a personal page. And so
that's right.
we've got that option. And of course, the other thing with a business page is it allows you to advertise. And no amount of, you can't advertise on a personal or professional mode page, but you can on a Facebook business page. And the downside, I think, of the business pages at the moment is they're not getting much traction unless you do advertise.
Mm,
Just
that's right.
seems to be a distinct lack of activity. I think just the algorithm completely ignores them.
Mm,
And so you're really left almost to, I know some couple of people I know are focusing on their professional mode Facebook page
yeah.
and they're just cross posting to the other one. They're not actually putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know,
So I think that's a definite start. I think you'd have to be on Facebook and you have your own website.
mm,
And
which I'm
obviously
working.
you want to have your branding looking exactly the same as much as you can. From, what can you do with Facebook? Not really. You can just put some colors on the title and that's about it. You can dress a certain way and you want to have that running on your website as well. If that's what you choose.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, they're accessory decisions on where you want to go with it. But the
Yeah.
challenge would be to actually manage all that because they're all different and their
That's
market
why
is
you get
different.
VAs.
Yeah. The
You,
Facebook, I mean, Instagram's audience is really different to Facebook. So
mm,
you can tweak your posts, but people who just post exactly the same thing from one to the other, you're not going to have a lot of success with that because
yeah.
you need to. I mean, Instagram primarily came up as a visual platform, and it still is, of course. So visuals are really critical. And
Mm,
now owned by Meta, they're embracing video and pictures as usual. So it's more like who your audience is on there that you talk to them differently. And
yeah, that's right.
and they don't tend to be, you don't tend to need to do long posts. In fact, you don't want to do it on Instagram. It's people
Well,
don't have time.
Instagram's not a long post forum. It's not a long post platform.
No, it's not. But you see them. But
TikTok, we can't forget about TikTok.
well, TikTok, I don't have much experience of. I don't like the platform for various reasons. But people say, "Oh, look, I've got 3,000 people like my video." Well, it's really about, has that brought you any leads more than anything? So I don't know.
You'd
The
be
jury's
surprised,
out.
yeah. So some people have had great success on TikTok.
They have, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
is.
I guess you could try and, without killing yourself, try and do a few things on TikTok and a few things on Instagram and seeing how you go and seeing
Mm-hmm.
what sort of response you get. But ultimately, if you're in business, it's about leads. And if you're
Is
getting leads, well, great, just continue doing more of the same.
yes. And look, there's a lot out there now. There are a lot of companies out there that are offering things on lead generation, and you can actually, if you can't get the leads generation yourself, you can actually employ
Yes.
those services. Yeah. Yeah. And appointment setters and closers. Like, really, if you want to invest the money, which I absolutely plan to do as my business grows, just you can outsource.
Mm.
You can outsource all of those things. So really, the only thing you need to do is run your course.
Yes.
And I think it's better, or run your business. You're the face of the business, so you get to interact with your clients in terms of, um, you know, coaching, making sales.
Mm.
Into, like, when you're, like, for affiliate marketing, when someone comes on board, of course you're going to coach them and help them through, and with coaching as well. So I think it opens you up to be more available for that, more for that personable service, and you're not having to worry about needing to post, and needing to manage all of your things yourself. You can actually get in
Yeah.
to the nitty gritty and do the work one on one with your people, and
Yeah.
that's my favorite part about what I do. All of the other stuff, I mean, it's good fun, don't get me wrong, but the minute I can afford to pay someone to, do my marketing and
Yeah.
advertising, like
Yeah.
this, the better. But until then, Genius AI will take care of me.
Genius AI is a genius. That's absolutely true. I think part of it too is also that you kind of want to stick to your zone of genius. Speaking of that, that's it's if
Yes.
you're really good at one aspect of your business,
Mm.
yeah, as a small business person, you need to do all those things. But in
Hmm.
the end, you start going, well, okay, what's one thing that I'm taking up my time because I'm really good at coaching people or something else. But here I am spending a lot of time marketing or, trying to twig the algorithm. And that's something you can hand to either software and someone to train to use the software, or just someone who wants to post. But from what I've seen of this particular software that we were talking about, there's going to be a lot of people who are, unfortunately, with artificial intelligence, a lot of people are going to be looking at, well, do I really need a full-time copywriter? Do I really need an ads person? Because this thing's very good. And so, and those
Yeah.
services are very expensive. So again, they're going to be hit by artificial intelligence,
That's right. Yeah, that's so
or they
true.
jump on and embrace it too, and they get more clients because they can now keep it in house, so to speak.
Sorry, guys. Excuse me. I'm just really kind of struggling with a bit of shoulder pain. So you're going to hear me wincing from time to time. So just bear with me.
And Ida won't be waving goodbye.
No, I will not be waving goodbye. Oh, yeah. It's really annoying when you have sore body parts and you have an itch and you can't quite get there.
That makes it worse.
It does. Anyway, despite my challenges, I'm feeling pretty good.
So let's talk about YouTube.
YouTube's awesome. I
Yes.
love YouTube.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. I
Well, no.
love it as a way of reaching people.
Yeah.
And I love it as a way of learning. I mean, anything that I want to know, or anything I want to learn, YouTube is my first port of call. And I
Yeah.
can usually find what I'm looking for.
Yes. It is extraordinary that way.
It is, yeah.
And well, neither of us use YouTube so much for marketing, but we do cross post this. If you're not actually watching the video goes up on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Plug. Um, and we don't have to do a lot of work for that. It's just a posting thing. So it is very good for that sort of thing too. So if you're running a podcast, and I think we both encourage anyone who's in business to start a podcast on something they're passionate about, maybe related to business and may not be, because it's a great way of attracting interest in your business and your life, and also it's a good learning curve.
Podcasts, my God, they are one of my favorite mediums
Hmm.
to listen to. I'm always listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
And this isn't going to be the only podcast that I'm doing, but more about that later. But yeah, I love it. I love it. Since we've started this, I have my desire to want to continue
Yeah.
and branching out with podcasts is getting stronger. I love them. I just think they're really great. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's probably a lesser known medium, I think, for not people know about podcasts, but they probably don't think of that when they're in an affiliate marketing business. Oh, I'll just do podcasts. So think about that too, because we think about the obvious ones, Facebook and Instagram, but podcast is an entirely different medium, and people listen to it in the car or wherever they happen to be, and that's the difference.
Absolutely, they do. And you don't have to pay for premium with podcasts in order to be able to listen like YouTube. You have to pay premium with YouTube if you want to be able to
Yeah,
listen
really. Yeah, you do.
and not have your screen on. And look, don't underestimate the power of podcasts, guys. Like it's a really viable way of reaching an audience and also creating another income stream when you get to a certain point. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. Like Spotify friggin' paid him $1 billion
Mm.
for
Yeah,
his podcast.
yeah,
So, anyone who says podcasts aren't a way, like, okay, why are you going to tell Mr. Rogan about that then?
yeah,
See what he
yeah.
says.
And there's a lot of them like that too. So
That's right.
um, yeah, it's a good platform for long form content. I mean, although I
He
know
is.
there's 7 minute, 10 minute podcasts around, which are good snippets, but a little bit short, I think, for me.
Bit too short.
Yeah, a bit short. You end up going through the entire podcast in a couple of hours. Um, so yeah, it's a good, like we are, waffling on sometimes, but having a good chat and able to get deeply into a conversation you can't really do on people don't read that sort of information. So uh,
That's right. You can get a lot more across
just
through
listening
your
or
podcast.
visualizing it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Cool.
else? What other platforms are there? Pretty well, LinkedIn, I think, is I don't know. I used to use LinkedIn. Um, Depends on your business. It's definitely more for professional people in careers.
I get
Yeah.
that impression that it's more, although that is changing, more and more people are listing their services on LinkedIn.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, it's not as corporate as it used to be,
That's right.
because it used to be quite corporate. And I think a lot of corporate companies go onto LinkedIn to get recruits, like to
Yeah.
do their recruiting. But that's changing. Like people, yeah, people are listing, more and more people are listing their goods and services on LinkedIn. What else is there? There's so many out there. Um,
Well, the other ones we haven't discussed Twitter and Threads. Twitter, well, Threads being the meta version of Twitter, if you want to call it that way. I'm sure they don't want to say.
I've not heard of Threads.
Threads is well, it's all meta, but Threads is Instagram's Twitter version, and a lot of people left Twitter over the last 12 months.
And Elon bought it.
When Elon bought it, not quite sure why. It's certainly got pretty toxic. It was toxic before he bought it. Um, Threads, I'm on Threads. It's actually got quite a few people who have abandoned Instagram because it does do pictures as well, although they're pretty small, but it's more for people in communities, in creative communities. There's a lot of people doing that.
Yep. Pinterest is
Um,
good too.
Pinterest, well, Pinterest is another beast, isn't it?
Mm.
What
I
else?
have,
Yeah.
I've actually bought quite a few things off what I've seen on Pinterest.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I have. Yeah. I've clicked on it, gone to websites, made purchases,
Yeah.
you know. Pinterest is very pictorial. It's great for artists,
Yes.
great for products. Um, haven't seen that many services on there, but
No.
there's nothing stopping you from advertising your services on Pinterest.
Yeah. 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 It started off. I mean, all these things start off in one direction, and like LinkedIn was a career thing. Basically, it was a recruitment site. Pinterest was
Mm.
a kind of developed with showing a lot of people doing crafting in the middle of the US, Midwestern US. So
Yeah.
it grew from that. You can see the origins are still there in some of the things. But yeah, yeah, I love Pinterest actually because it's got some beautiful photography
Doesn't it
and
what?
it's kind of a reverse. You see the pictures, and then you can go to the website. So it kind of does things in reverse. But
Yeah.
the marketing, I don't know. I wouldn't. It's not something I'd be. Well, actually, if I was in a different field, probably. But yeah, not for the field we're in.
Mm.
Or I'm in. So yeah, I think they're the main ones. Certainly the main ones to I think some of these things like threads and Twitter, you can get a little bit of a following. People check out your other things, which conveniently takes us really back to the full circle that you need a website. And can't
Absolutely.
emphasize that more, because people either go, they're probably not likely to go from Threads to Facebook. They probably go from Threads and go, oh, who's this person? I'll check them out on see if they've got a website, if
It's the
that's your job.
first thing I do. The first
So
thing I do.
um, let's talk about websites briefly. In that, it's now with AI again, it's very simple to put together certainly a basic website very quickly.
Correct.
And having done quite a lot of them now, the old way, it's always remarkable. Every time I jump on after a year or so, I think, wow, this is like what used to take me, actually not a lot of time, 3 or 4 hours to get a good structure up is now taking 5, 10 minutes. And um,
It's crazy.
they're not brilliant, but they're actually very good for a lot of people, some of them. So
Yeah.
really, the thing with this technology is not going to choose, it's not going to know you yet, and it's not going to have the pictures you want. So a lot of that stuff's still got to come from you. But
Correct.
again, going back to Genius AI, putting that sort of information in there and using it and tweaking your brand, voice, and tone can be used to build a website. And so you've got a lot of the work, which I know from having clients in the past, is like you could be waiting weeks and weeks and months to get copy from people, because
Mhm.
that's just not their thing. That's just not their thing. They don't know how to write about what they're doing. They don't have to write about themselves.
You got that little expression, did you?
And yeah, I did. Well, that's so will everyone on YouTube, Ida. Um, so, the two things are, well, we're waiting on photos and we're waiting on you writing about your business because we don't know what it is. So um, I won't mention the product again, but there's certainly software out there that can help you with that once it gets to know you. And so you sped up the journey completely with putting a website together. And
Yeah, I'm
then
looking forward to launching that actually. I think it's really essential. And thank you for your help and assistance with that, Tim, because
that's all right.
it is not one of my gifts.
That's
It's not
it.
my forte,
No,
website building.
no.
Yeah. Anyway, we
So
don't.
yeah, I think that's covered a lot of them actually. A lot of the things, software and more services, I suppose, is probably the best way of looking at this. So we talked about
Mm,
tools last week, and these are more
mm.
services that you might want to engage on. But let's not get overwhelmed, because really, if you're starting an affiliate marketing business, all you really need is a website and pick a platform.
Yeah, pick a platform.
Pick a
Yeah. And
platform.
and those that have chosen Facebook, those that have chosen Facebook, I think it's really important to get on some groups. Go and check out groups. Yeah, advertise your services on groups. There's a lot of free advertising that you can do on
Yeah,
Facebook.
okay. Why don't we, in a few weeks or maybe next week, we can talk about ways of getting leads
What a great idea. Let's do that.
before you say any more?
I
Let's
will not say anymore.
let's put that down for a next podcast or two or whenever,
Yes.
and
Due for a guest soon too, so we'll be
yeah,
coming
we
up.
may, yeah, we'll talk about strategies for getting leads and interest and building up followers, and
Beautiful.
what we tried and what hasn't worked for us, and what we think is going to work but it hasn't worked yet.
Yeah.
All right,
Sounds good to me.
awesome. So, what have you been learning, reading, or watching, listening to
This
this week?
week, I have to think about that. I haven't been really doing much listening or reading this week. I think my brain has been quite full, and I'm revisiting the stuff that I've learned over the last couple of weeks um with my new training. So I've kind of been going over that,
Yeah.
and
Oh, that's plenty.
yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I've been really enjoying the process. It's always good. Have to excuse me, I'm not on my game. I think I'm between pains and pain relief. I'm a little bit not quite with it like I
That's all
used to.
good. We're just about finished on the home stretch.
Yes.
So I'm probably the same way. I'm still working through the magic this week, the book. Um,
Great.
on day whatever it is, it's probably a week since we've maybe 7 days, eight, probably on day 8.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I read that in the morning and do the great gratitudes and a few other things a little bit different.
Beautiful.
Today, I'm working on a 5.5 hour masterclass I'm listening to, which is
You must
it's
send me the details for that, actually.
yeah, it's a lot of people who are in the water business we're in.
Mm.
Uh, but there's some really refreshing insights about marketing and getting your game together, so to speak. So
Great.
I'm
Can't
looking
wait.
forward to following that through. I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours into it at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That's great. Never stop learning. One really important thing,
Yeah.
no matter what you're doing, we always have to keep learning, keep being open to new innovative ways of running our business, and got
Yeah.
to keep up to date. And yeah, it's all really important to be able to keep up with how quickly things are changing. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Very quickly they change, don't they?
They do indeed. Kind of
They,
leaves your head spinning.
so
Cool.
thank you, Ida, for showing up today with your shoulder injury. I can see that it's causing you a lot of problems.
It is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hoping that I still was able to bring as much as to the table as I normally do.
Of
But
course.
I
Well,
don't know.
here,
One of
that's
those
what
things.
show up. Show up. That's what's
Next
important
week
in
will
it.
be better. That's right. Despite your challenges, you still got to show up.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
important.
So
Very important.
thank you, listener or watcher, if you're on YouTube.
Thank you.
This was the Ethical Affiliates. We'll be back next week, releasing usually Mondays.
Yeah.
Gets out there on Mondays. And please share, like, comment, get in touch with us. Our details are always in the links.
Yes. Reach out to us on Facebook. Please check us out on your YouTube. Leave comments. Interact. We want to speak with you.
That's it.
Beautiful.
All right.
All
That's
right.
it. See you
Catch
all
you
later.
later.
Bye.
All right.